everybody, and welcome back to another great edition of my Grue Rume Show. And for the Grue Rume Show today, I got a very awesome guest, and she is a singer, a musician, a former TNA wrestling interviewer, and valet. And I'm talking about Gold Goldy Locks. And I'm really looking forward to talking to her about wrestling, about music, and about life. I am Rocco Cross. I am the host that stutters. As you could tell, I am the host of the Grue Rume Show. And my interview with Goldilocks will be coming up very soon. This is my Grue Rume, and as always, welcome to my nightmare. So stay tuned. All right. Welcome to Grue, and thank you so much for coming on the show. I appreciate it.
We appreciate you asking. Thank you so much,
Yeah,
Mr. Chucky. Are you a horror guy or just in love with Chucky?
I love all horror. Chucky is like the one that I like the most, but like I grew up a horror fan. Watching Tales from the Crypt was like my first introduction to
Oh,
horror.
it was good
So
stuff, right?
that,
I missed that show.
I know, right? Exactly. That was such a good show.
Yeah, things were simpler back then. They just were.
I
Kind
know.
of was a different day, and I don't know. I miss a lot of the. I miss that stuff. It's gotten too much for me. It's not. It's not. I don't know. It's just too fake, I guess,
I know. I know. You're
lack of a better
absolutely
word.
right. I'm when when I watch horror, like I go back and watch like the old horror, like I said, like Tales from the Crypt and Nightmare on Elm
Yeah,
Street,
not
Chucky.
Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Like I prefer that over the modern stuff.
I do too. A lot of people in wrestling like love horror. It's a
I
good
know.
correlation, hand in hand.
Wrestling and horror, yeah. Like that's why I love both, like wrestling, horror, and rock and roll. All of them come like all in the
All of them are
package.
in there. How many years have you been doing your show?
The video show I've been doing only since COVID. Like when COVID
Okay.
hit, I started doing the video show, but me and my buddy run a horror site, and I was doing interviews on the horror site, but it was like written stuff. So I would like send over the questions, and they would send back everything, and I would have to type everything up and post it. So the whole site was basically like written. And then COVID
Mm.
hit, and people were saying, you have to learn to get with the times. Everyone's doing videos now. And I was like, oh, all right.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Good old COVID.
COVID caused the video show. Yeah.
I'm glad something positive came out of it for you. That's cool.
Yeah, true. So, yeah, the first thing I want to start out asking you is typical question is like, what drew you to loving making music, creating songs, and like any artists and bands that inspired you?
Oh, no, that's a great question, and I first off appreciate you so much for having me on and asking our management and making the whole shindig. That was really cool. So honored to be here. Thank you.
Thank you,
What
thank
made me
you.
want to? Yes, yes. I grew up in a real economically challenged neighborhood, so the hood, and people were either like doing drugs or just doing bad things, or they were making music or doing sports and things like that. So I figured, not so great at the sports, somewhat, but I just was really always drawn to writing songs. I loved singing melodies. I love writing songs, and ironically, I would get signed with somebody that I looked up to a ton in Minneapolis, and it was just a matter of time before we bumped into each other in a way that we could work together, because I was really young when I first heard of Prince. But
Oh,
being in the same town, like he was a huge influence just because he was a good businessman and he wrote all of his own songs and he played all of his own instruments, and then he started to get really cool bands together, and
yeah.
he was a huge influence. Folk singers were a huge influence. I'm going to cough, so I'm going to go ahead and mute myself for just 1 second.
Okay.
Um, Folk singers like Cat Stevens. My dad listened to all these crazy folk singers growing up. So that was like an influence just because they had great melodies and it was all about the songs. And, pop icons like Madonna or Guns N' Roses had
Oh yeah.
these epic rock anthems, and even Metallica, they were dark and they were heavy. And bands like Culture Club, even like the melodies again, really, really strong. Like Prince always said, if you could whistle a song, if you could just whistle the melody and recognize it or remember it, and it would hold up with just whistling a melody, then you got a great song. Even a guitar line or whatever, you got a great song if you can whistle that. So, I mean, that's how I got started, was writing really shitty songs, that hopefully have gotten better over time.
But I love Prince though. Like Prince
Yeah.
is so amazing, and I love all versions of Prince, even when he was known as just the symbol.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, like he's incredible with his music, and Cat Stevens is actually someone my 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 mom used to love him, and so like I grew up with like Cat Stevens and Zeppelin and Pink Floyd, the
Mm-hmm.
Beatles, the Stones. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's great stuff. There was another singer too, Barry Manilow, that was
Hmm.
writing like tons and tons of jingles. Like if you look up all the jingles that Barry Manilow has written, it's everything from Dr. Pepper to McDonald's to this to that. So, I got a cough again. Hold on one second. Let me mute
Okay.
you. Hold, please.
Okay.
I was writing jingles by the time I was 8 and 9 professionally, and
Wow.
making good money with that too. So that's how I really got started with writing, was writing jingles for radio and TV and all that good stuff.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, interesting.
And I was reading like your dad was the one that actually taught you how to play music, right?
Yeah, he was. He taught me how to sew, which is how I got my record deal, was sewing costumes for different artists and bands.
Oh,
And yep, it was him that sat me down with the sewing machine. And my dad was forever teaching me guitar and singing. And my mom would beat harmonies into me. Literally, like that's what our extracurricular time was singing thirds and fifths and sevenths and singing all kinds of different harmonies. Like she was, lo and behold, wanted to have a kid that could sing harmonies. And that's a real gift. Like you either have that one or you don't, because people think they can, but when you get next to somebody else and they're singing their part, it's like, can you hold yours tight, or are you wavering, or you got to be like solid and know exactly where you are and like become one with that. And that was a
mhm.
great, I don't know if I was born with it or if it was just because, like I said, she beat that into me like hardcore. She was like, you're going to learn how to sing harmonies. So,
Oh wow, nice.
yeah, hardcore in that
I
household.
know, I see that. And when you first start doing songs, I see you went by the shadow name. Like how did you create that?
I never went by that. That's just
Oh,
something that some people have been, finding out as of late, and that's cool. Have to cough again. Hold on one second.
okay.
Hold, please. I was in the hospital yesterday, so I just got out.
Oh
Not better,
no.
but nope. But we got to honor our commitments. So Moon Shadow was my birth name, and I keep that just on the kayfabe on the download, just because there's so many weirdos out there, and
Got
it's
you,
just
got
easier to go by Goldie Locks and have people send gross things to that name. It's a lot less, sacred than if they're like Moon, blah blah blah. So Moon Shadow is what I was named. It's after Cat Stevens' song Moon Shadow, and I always went by Goldie Locks, and then
okay.
but a lot of people from back in the hood, they know me as Mooney girl. Yeah, that's really my name. So, but I go by
Wow.
Goldilocks.
That is an
Yeah,
awesome name though. I love
it's
that.
a very cool name. Yeah, until you
Yeah.
get creeps creeping on you, and then you just wish they never knew your freaking name. But creeps are everywhere. They always will be. They
That's
always have been. They always will be. So that's how the entertainment world works. Just goes around, cycles, moves by nice people, nice supporters, and creeps.
yeah, that's true. You're right.
Yes, it
And
is.
so like I was listening to your songs, and you have such a incredible voice for music. Like
Yeah.
did you take voice lessons, or was it
Oh
something
yeah.
you will okay.
No, and I used to have a beautiful voice. Now, after years and years of being on the road and playing every week for hours on end. And, like I did the show on Saturday night and then came home, went to the hospital all
Oh
day.
my
So
God.
yeah. So, and everybody's like, oh, you should just rest. And yeah, it doesn't, how? Like, it doesn't, that works in most people's worlds, but not in an entertainer's world. Like, you gotta,
Oh.
like, the show must go on. You gotta go on, whether you're sick or vomiting or, I had food poisoning on top of that, and I'm still on stage, like dying, and people are just insensitive. They don't give a flying shit about you or how you feel. It's like they want to hear what they want to hear, and they're there to be entertained. Damn it! And not one mother said, "Could I bring you a glass of water?" They could see I was like
Well,
I'm
yeah.
in immense pain. I've been coughing and been sick, and like my muscles are all completely shredded and ripped under my rib cages. So every time I cough, it's like really, it feels like your ribs are broken. It's really,
Hmm.
really painful. Nobody cares. But what was my point on that rant? What were we talking about? Songs and whatnot. I used to have a really, really great voice. I did, but now it is what it is, and I would much rather have an imperfect voice with a lot of years of experience than like these pure crystal voices, like all these kids that win these The Voice or the American
Oh
Idol
yeah.
things. Like you got to sing one song a night. Like, oh, how do you find the time? And then they go on these tours, and it's like maybe they sing like a couple songs that night, and that's it.
I
And
know.
then they sit in their climate controlled trailers in their dressing rooms, and craft services shows up for them, and all this stuff. Like that's not what it's really like when you're a musician or
Yeah.
an actress, an athlete, and a singer. That's not what it's really like. Somebody said the other day, "Oh, I wish I could come with you. That would be so much fun." No, it's not. It's not fun at all. But I mean, I love what I do, but fun isn't the word that I would call,
Well, yeah. It's
singing
work.
till 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning and then striking down all your gear. And then if it happens to be a show where you're bringing sound and lights, that's another 2 hours of
Ooh.
putting away all that shit and wrapping up cables and packing it up into a bus and going to the next town. And sometimes you don't even get any sleep because you get done with that. It's 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and your next show is at a festival 7, 8 hours away. So you got to
Damn.
just haul ass throughout the whole night, and maybe it's at noon or 1 o'clock, and you got to get there to sound check, and stop into a Planet Fitness for 10 minutes and brush your teeth and try to look like you're not dying, and then show up like all fresh and happy at the next thing. Like that's not what I call fun.
Well,
Everybody's at
yeah.
each other's throats and bitching, but we've got a great group of guys, and everybody's pretty cool,
Oh,
pretty
good.
even keeled, good senses of humor. And they're all workhorses.
Hmm.
We've had some divas in the band in the past, but we've got some real workhorses in this group where they're more military. They're more like, let's just get this stuff done, and they're not acting like the ladies in the back like we've had in the past. Like, we're out like starting the vehicle and 20 below weather somewhere, and then like the other guys are just in there, oh, it's too cold, and I'm just
Oh
like,
my
you're a
God.
pussy. So yeah, fun isn't the word I would use to describe what we do. Great voice anymore. It's a solid voice. And it's like, I know my handicaps. Like, I know what I can sing when I can sing it. I know
Hmm.
what day of the week I could sing vocals on a song because I'm healing from 3 to 4 days from the show prior. But then I got to sing in the middle of the week because we've got a Friday show. So I can't be singing all day Friday, or I can't sing Thursday and
Oh,
not too much on Wednesday. Or it's like Wednesday morning, good time, and then heal, sing again, heal. So, your voice is like a bank. It's like you got to deposit into it and take out, and deposit into it and take out. So
hmm.
it's exactly like a bank.
Wow.
There you go.
So like, what do you do for your voice during like your rest days? Like, do
Just drink a ton of water.
oh yeah,
Drink a
that
ton of
helps.
water.
Like,
Oh,
I,
hydrating your, yeah, absolutely.
even like hot tea and stuff, right? That's what I heard. I heard like hot
Tea's
tea
got
would
caffeine
help.
in it. Tea's got
Uh,
caffeine in it. I mean, it'll dry out your voice.
oh,
Hot
really?
hot lemon water would be better than a tea. Yeah. I mean, people say that, but that's not the best. But the best thing for anyone forever, all time, is water. Whether you're just trying to look younger or lose weight or feel better or be healthier or take care of your voice, just pure water. If you want to add a little lemon to that, that's a
Yeah.
de-inflammatory. That'll help your joints, lubricate your joints. That'll help people with, cracking and popping.
Oh.
It's just really good. It just takes away any inflammation, helps with arthritis. So a little lemon water, you
Oh,
heat
wow.
that up. That's good for you. But yeah, tea's okay, but it's not the best. People would think tea and honey and all this shit in there. Honestly, the best is just water.
Oh, I never knew that. Okay.
Now you do.
I know exactly.
I've been taught by the best. So yeah.
And how did you wind up forming your band? Has the band changed over the years too? Like you said,
Oh
different
yeah.
people and
If I were to, let's see, I would have grabbed this and show you like these are all the like you see all these different
oh my
people. Like
God, yes.
there's an incarnation, there's an incarnation, there's an incarnation, there's an incarnation,
Wow.
there's an incarnation, there's one, there's one, there's one. They're like, I mean, all over the room, there's just stuff like I think you can see there. Like these are all the different records
Oh
that
wow,
we have
yeah.
out. And yeah, I mean, it's been those are some Billboard number ones, number twos in the back. And I mean, we've got a lot of stuff out. I've been doing this for a long time.
Mm.
I started when I was really young, so doing pop and all of that. And then I started a band when I was at TNA. Like the
Oh, get
first
out. Okay.
couple months I was there, somebody said, "Oh, your sound guy that's running the live song, he's a guitar player." And I just was like, "Hmm." And I went up to him and said, "Hi, I'm Goldie. You want to start a band?" And his name was Brian Bloomer. And Brian and I, we started a band, and then it just kept. And then Brian quit, or we dissolved, and went our separate ways. And then Brian went on to do. He's doing great stuff, and he's always teching for like Alice Cooper. He runs live sounds for like all the big stadium shows in Nashville. He's got a band called Lost Circus. I
Oh
mean,
wow.
Brian's done really really well for himself, and in the indie circuit and doing that. And we all see each other and join up once in a while, and all is good. But yeah, that's how I started, was literally saying, "You want to be in a band?" Like, because he played guitar. That was it. The rest was history. We found some really good people to play with, and it's changed so many times over the years, but
Yeah.
I've always been the same. And then I've had the same drummer for about 12 years. So that's a blessing.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I saw like when you toured, like you toured with some of the best of the
Oh, for
best.
sure.
Like
Absolutely.
one of them is like someone that I absolutely love, Stevie Nicks, and you went on tour with her,
Yeah, we got
right?
to we got to open for her, not tour, but open for her. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Share the
okay.
stage. Yeah. Yeah. It was great. It was really
Oh my
cool.
God, like
You
sharing the
just go
stage
out and
with her.
you go up, you open, you get the crowd all pumped up, and then they come out and do their thing. So very cool. Complete honor.
Yeah, definitely. And and like what was it like going you worked with Stevie, Three Doors Down, The Fray, Pink, and like the list goes on and on and on. And is it just like another day at the office?
It's not what people would think, because half the time you don't even get to talk to them.
Oh, get out, really?
Sometimes people are really rude to you, and they treat you like shit.
Oh my
And
God.
there's some bands that are really nice to you and make sure like you have all their booze that they don't want, or whatever they left over in their dressing room. They say give it to the opening band, or let them take it. Or I think one of the bands that was super super cool to us was One Republic. When we opened for them, they were just
Yes.
so gracious and wanted to make sure anything excess that they had or that they were leaving behind that we got wasn't because they knew us or anything. They were just good people.
Hmm.
I remember Gavin DeGraw coming up to me at a show, and he was with a friend of his that he was kind of like watching because he didn't want his friend to drink too much. He was kind of keeping an eye on him. And I just remember him coming up and like putting his hand out and like upside down like this. And he just put a bunch of cash in my hand, and he said, "I know what you're doing. I know how hard this is. I know how good
Wow.
you are. And I want you to have this. If I had any more cash, I would give it to you. But my buddy's like drinking me out of house and home." And he just said, "This is all that I have. You're worth so much more." But he was so, I'll never forget that. He was so kind. I was like, wow, somebody that I look up to, that's not a peer. He's doing better than I am.
Hmm.
Really gave me some props. And then it's like, well, I got to get back to my friend. And he kind of like went like this. And I just looked like across the big room. It was a big, like 5,000 seater. And I just saw this like silhouette of a guy back by the bar. And he had like kind of curly hair and a top hat on and some aviator glasses. And I was like, yeah, he was with Slash. That was
Oh
pretty
my
cool.
God,
So,
I was just gonna say
yeah,
Slash. Yeah.
yeah. So he was out in Biloxi, Mississippi with his buddy, and Guns N' Roses was touring nearby. And I guess they were just checking out the casino and having a drink. So That was really cool. And when I got back to the dressing room, I unwadded the money and it was $637. And that's no shitty tip. So
No,
yeah,
that's a great
yeah, yeah,
tip.
yeah. It was really cool. So those are some of the people that I remember. Like I would freak to go on open for do a run with somebody like Gavin DeGraw just because of what a great human being he is. You know, that's the kind of stuff. Like there's been other bands we've opened for where they wouldn't even acknowledge when we were like, "Hey, great show," and like had our hand up to like high five, and they like literally like did everything but spit on us. So it's
My
like
God.
it's not what you'd think. Some people are really nice. Some people are assholes. Who else is really nice? Joan Jett is really nice.
Oh, okay, yeah.
She leaves huge tips for people. Like everywhere we go, the chambermaids will always be talking about like the tip that Joan Jett would leave huge tips. Joan Rivers would leave huge tips. Sinbad would leave huge tips for people. It's just it's always so lovely to hear something really good about somebody because there's so much crap that you can
Yeah.
say and there is so much crap because most people are assholes. They really are. You know, it's just, you know, how it goes.
Yeah. And, when you're live on stage, is there what do you like most about that? Like like I know for like a fan, like just seeing a band or an artist live, like you're just in awe and listening to the songs live is like a out of body experience for like a lot
Well,
of
that's good.
fans.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's really good to hear. For us, for me, it's an out of body experience, and for like the other people, because you're constantly wondering, am I going to remember what's coming next? Am I going to forget the words? Where am I right now? Is somebody else going to make a mistake that's going to train wreck the song that I need
Mhm.
to keep it on track? Or what technically is coming? For me, as the band leader, the person that books the shows, I'm constantly scanning the room to see what type of management is here. Is the person that booked us here? Is the promoter here? How is the crowd responding to us? How are we looking right now? Are we looking like we would get booked again? It's all business. Like it's just constantly like you always want to see if the promoter is in the room. Is his phone up? Is he filming? Is he taking
Mhm.
pictures? Is he or she happy with what they're seeing? Or is there a shitty crowd? Did we not draw anybody? There's nothing worse than when you start the show and you're opening or you know whatever's going on and like nobody's showing up. And
Oh,
then you start panicking because I'm like, shit, like I've opened for some of the biggest names in rock and roll, and now I'm at this crappy little show in Podunk, you know, bum frick Egypt, and nobody's coming. And then you just start feeling like, do I even have it anymore? Or am I a joke? Or it's awful. So that's the kind of stuff that's going through our head. It's not rarely is it like something fun. It's all business and it's all, am I going to get paid tonight? Are they going to try to screw us? Are they going to try to say not enough people showed up? A lot of times we get door deals. It did. How many people are here? I'm multiplying that times the door price in my head. Are
oh,
we going to have are we gonna have enough money to pay the rooms tonight, to pay the fuel home? Are we gonna be asked back? You know, like that's the kind of stuff that's going through somebody's mind, you know, or what's the last argument that I had with somebody, or blah, 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 blah. But I'm always like constantly looking at the next move in chess, and rarely are we ever enjoying the moment. Now, once in a while, when all the shit's going really well
yeah.
and it's meshing and people are really into it, you get lost in the moment and you're like, wow, this is amazing. Holy shit, there's 10,000 people out there and they're paying attention to what I am doing. Like I've got them in the palm of my hand. That's very powerful. Just do something good with it. Don't be a cocksucker. Like be cool, you know, just use your power for the good. So I'm glad that people come and get lost in it or whatever, because
Oh,
that's
yeah.
not, it's not really what's going on our end. Even people that are like signed to like a major label deal, like who was I talking to? I was actually having breakfast with one of the Harris twins that used to wrestle with Impact in TNA.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were like they were talking about wrestling in Madison Square Garden. And I was
Oh,
like, "Oh, what was that like?" He's like, let me tell you what that like was like. He's like, we were maybe halfway through the match. It was a tag team title match. It was something. And he said, I was with my brother and he was getting ready to go out again. And I whispered in his ear, all right, here's what we're going to do. And he said, I told them immediately leaving the ring, we're going to get our shit and we're going to go to the parking ramp and we're going to head down here. Like all he was concerned about was getting out of Madison Square Garden and not getting stuck in traffic in the middle of a
Wow,
match.
really?
In the middle of Madison Square Garden. This is on everybody's bucket list, their dream
Well,
thing to
yeah,
do. He
exactly.
said, I knew I was done with wrestling when I wasn't even in the moment of the match. All I could think about was our exit for our parking exit. That was it. He's
Oh,
like, that's how I knew I was just done. Like there was no more love for this business anymore. It's like it was down to like, how are we going to get out of this parking lot? That was it.
yeah.
So, it's
I,
interesting.
yeah, it's crazy because like you were saying, like that's like everyone's dream, like playing or wrestling at Madison Square Garden and
Yeah.
selling out Madison Square Garden. Yeah, definitely.
Isn't that crazy? So a lot
Wow.
of times when you would think we're thinking of one thing, it's completely another logistical business side of things, like it's not, again, it's not, oh, it sounds like fun. It's
It's
like,
true.
it's not fun. It's business, which
Well,
I'm very
yeah,
blessed, very grateful to do, but it's not like what you think.
yeah. It's basically you're doing a job. Like everyone else goes to a job, you're going to a job.
Exactly. It's a
Yeah,
scary job. It's a really scary job because most people can hide behind their desk or their cubicle or whatever. And like you're literally in front of thousands of people that
true.
they better like what you have. Or, I mean, I was touring in Afghanistan and we were supposed to be the main act with an opener, but the opener was bombing. It was a comedian. It just wasn't working. And so they're
Mhm.
like, you're going to open for yourself. I'm like, oh, the dude comedian is bombing. So put the girl out there, throw me to the wolves, really scary. Nobody, and
Oh,
I remember walking out there, hey everybody, and like they're just cross-armed. They didn't want to hear. I mean, you don't want to hear this shit. They didn't want to hear anything I had play. None of the stuff
wow.
we had performed. They didn't want to hear anything. And I'm like, well, what do I do now? Okay, well, we have a limited number of songs, but I was like, I walked back to the guys and I'm like, do you know this? Do you know that? We just went into metal songs and they went nuts. They loved
Oh,
it.
get out.
And
Wow.
once we warmed them up, then we went back to some of the pop shit and all that stuff. But they wanted to hear Drowning Pool, Bodies Hit the Floor. They wanted to hear
Oh,
Pantera. They wanted to hear Metallica. They wanted to hear, some 3 Days Grace. They just wanted to hear heavier stuff. So that's what we played. We just changed the whole thing. The songs weren't perfect, but they
yeah.
wanted to hear AC/DC. They wanted to hear that kind of stuff. That's what they wanted to hear. Thank God
Wow.
we knew some.
So like that happens where you have to feel the crowd out, see what
Change.
they
Oh,
what they
yeah.
want to.
We don't have a set list. We
Oh,
play what you look out and see people. We see how they're dressed, what they're wearing, what era they grew up, what's going to hit a chord with them, what's going to be
mm,
nostalgic for them. It might be really old people. They might be in their 70s or their 80s at a casino or whatever. Like they're not going to want to hear they're going to want to hear the Beatles. They're going to want to hear Chuck
yeah.
Berry. They're going to want to hear the Monkees. They're going to want to hear the Mamas and the Papas. They're going to want to hear the Beach Boys. They're going to want to hear stuff now. You could still do like a song by the Beach Boys that Van Halen covered and you could rock it out and they'd know it. Like, Girl, You Really Got Me. You could do something like that. But like
Yes.
you gotta know what to play. And if there's like a bunch of preppy guys, like they're gonna want to hear, you know, uh like Lit, the band Lit, or they're gonna want to
Hmm.
hear, Fallout Boy, or they're gonna want to hear who sings When I Come Around. Oh, come on, when I
When
come
I
around.
come, the
Yeah,
Green
Green Day.
Day.
They're going to
Yeah,
hear stuff
yeah,
like that. They're going to
yeah.
hear all that kind of shit. They're going to want to hear Nirvana. They're going to want, it's like, so you better have it. And if there's a bunch of pop girls and they're going to want to hear Miley Cyrus or Lady Gaga or I don't know, what's the other one's name? Taylor Swift.
Peel. Oh
They're
yeah, yeah.
going to want to
They
hear
all
that
love
kind of stuff.
her.
Yeah, they're going to want to hear that kind of shit. Or they're going to want to hear originals that fit in with that type of stuff.
Hmm. Hmm.
Nobody's going to want to hear a bunch of pop originals if they're the guys that want to hear Metallica and
That's true.
Pantera, and like they're going to want to hear some shit that's heavy and that speaks to them. So play that. So it's really a game. It's a big game of figuring out
Oh wow.
what's what. It's very strategic and very grueling and very tough because like one wrong call and people leave. Then
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
then
yeah.
you're screwed if the crowd starts leaving. So you got to keep them.
Wow. Wow. Like
Yeah.
this is like blowing my mind. Like I didn't know like all this went into
Oh
performing
yeah,
on
even
stage.
bands
Like
like the Rolling Stones have a complete set list that is orchestrated and illustrated so that they know exactly when they're going to play a slow song. So people leave and go to the merch table and buy a bunch of stuff. You
Oh,
know, it's halfway through, they play a ballad or two, they kill it, they kill the momentum. All the guys leave to go get a beer at the stadium and go over to the merch stand and buy some stuff. And then they bring them back in. And like, it's all calculated. All of it is.
oh,
It's a business. This is a
well,
music
yeah.
business.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Which
And
I
like,
want to remind everybody, I'm going to interject if I can, to please go to YouTube and look up our song. It's called Just Say Yes by the Goldie with a Y Locks band. Just Say Yes. And we really need you to leave a YouTube comment and let us know that you listened to your show. Like that's what we need you to do. So there you go. Little quick little nod there to them.
yeah,
Check
definitely.
it out. We need YouTube
One of your songs that I love is Brave. And is there any song that means most to you? Like you've made many songs. Like is do you have like one song that means the
So
most to you?
Brave is a cover. Do you even know that?
Wait, it is?
Yes, huge cover. I'm glad nobody ever knows.
Get
So
out, really?
none of the guys ever know that that's a cover. So I appreciate you liking that because I mean it's
Oh,
billions of views on it. It's Sarah, I never can pronounce her last name, but yeah, that was a really big song a while back, not too long ago, but we did our own version.
well,
I
yeah.
think our version sounds better than hers. I don't mean to be mean, but I think it's really good. I think my guys did a really great job on it. And then her video is just a bunch of people doing a little dance to it. And ours is like, we really wanted to call out all the people that saw us through 2020 because that was a horrendous year with COVID and
Hmm.
people being sick and all that. Hold on. I'm going to mute you while I cough. Here we go.
Okay.
How gross. So yeah, that's a great song. We also redid Seven Nation Army. We did Black, which that's like the number 2 billboard back there.
Hmm.
Black from Pearl Jam.
Yes.
Yeah, that went to number 2. That right there, the number 1 is mm, come on, what's the name of it? Why doesn't it say it on there? It's for Yellow Lead Better. Why
Oh,
doesn't it say
okay. Yeah, that's
that's
another
number
Pearl
2?
Jam song.
No, that's come on, that's Led Zeppelin.
Oh, wait, what am I thinking of?
I don't know what you're thinking of. I don't know why. Oh, there it is. There it is. It's on there. Yellow Lead Better. But that was a remake of the Led Zeppelin song, but that made it to number 1. So that's pretty cool. So
Nice.
we've done some really cool songs. We have one called All to You that was in support of suicide prevention and
Oh.
mental health awareness. So that's pretty cool. James Storm, wrestler that we know is in
Hmm.
that, and man, I'm dying. James Storm was in that. Who else was in it from ECW? Alan Funk was in it. James Storm, Alan Funk, Chase Stevens was in it. He was in
Okay.
TNA for a while. So yeah,
Yeah.
we had a lot of really cool. Chris Henderson from Three Doors Down was in it.
Nice.
Bobby Cabs from 38 Special, like lots of cool rockers and people were in it. BB King's daughter was in it. Tupac Shakur's cousin was in it.
Wow.
Like a lot of really great people were in that. It was amazing. So, we're proud of stuff like that, but thanks for asking. But do go look up Just Say Yes with the Goldilocks band and leave a comment. We need you to leave comments.
Like when you have a song that goes to the top, like does that like how does that feel? Like do you
Say it
um
again. I was
oh
coughing.
sorry. Like you must feel proud like when you make a song that goes straight to the top, like you said you had
Oh, for
a
sure.
number one hit.
But as a business person, you're thinking about how do I top it? How do I
How do
do
you
it
make
again?
another one? Yeah,
How do I
yeah,
do another one? How do I do it again?
yeah.
Like there's people that just like bask in their own shit for days and hours and weeks and months and years. That's not me. It's usually like, oh, that's cool. I hope my guys feel good. I hope everybody realizes they did a great job. Pat on the back. Let's go have dinner. And then how do we do it again? It's like it's a rat race. I
Oh,
mean, it would be so nice if you could just like hang on to that. But in this business, like same with sports, like you're only as good as you were yesterday. And then
mm-hmm.
nobody gives a shit. That's just how it is. But I enjoy the process. I
Oh, yeah.
enjoy whether it's a hit or not. I enjoy making music and writing songs and I've got a really beautiful studio in here that
I
you
love
can,
how it looks.
and it's
Oh,
really pretty.
look at all those
Yeah,
cool
there's like, yeah,
guitars hanging up.
yeah, lots of guitars, violins, keyboards,
Oh
gear to
my
record,
God.
all that. So, I mean, I don't even leave my house sometimes. I'm so blessed. I could sit here for hours and just create. Like, that's the real gift.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, like your studio is awesome. I
for
love it.
shizzle. Oh, you're sweet. Thank you. It's dirty, dirty. But yeah. So, you want to talk about some wrestling? We're like half an hour into it. Make sure you
Sure,
get in all
sure.
your stuff.
Before I talk about wrestling, I want to talk about your brand new song, Just Say Yes.
Yeah,
And
it's really corny. It is. Super cheese. Super cheese, but it's fun.
like what inspired the song? Like what
We have another crap in the background. We have a a Brazilian bass player, and we were just messing around. We send our tracks back and forth, and he sent me rags everywhere, cough rags. He sent me some really cool ideas, and I just kind of went with it. It's very Dua Lipa esque, which she rips off everybody else. So we'll rip her off. It's just really pop. All of our stuff from now on is going to be super rock because our new guitar player this time around is really, really rock. Where the guy that was in the band when we did Just Say Yes, which was several years ago, he was more of a pop guy, pop kind of punk.
hmm
So when you have different people and different flavors in the mix, you just change things to reflect that. So it's a really fun. It was a family friendly, fun song, and it's just something to listen to and be in a good mood. And we had a cool contest that was going where you could win some cash for doing the little Just Say Yes song, dance in the song, and
Nice.
it was fun. It was just fun. It was just something fun to do.
Oh yeah, definitely. And now for wrestling, like you were part of TNA wrestling, and
Mm-hmm.
you made music for them. And
Did
how did you wind up getting involved with wrestling? Was it something you grew up watching?
I grew up watching, but that's not how I get in. Hold 1 second. Hold 1 second. Hold 1 second. Happen. Hold on. We gotta pump it really cold. Um, I'm not ready for prime time yet. Of course, I'm gonna honor and do this show, but man, am I sick? I'm just letting you know I'm like smiling, but ready to vomit at any moment. So I
Oh
don't
my
know,
God.
doing my best here, doing my best. Okay, what's up with there it is. Okay, so the lawyer that I had for my record deal and all that good stuff, she was the lawyer for the Jarretts and for the new promotion. And hold up. Every time I cough, it like these muscles super hardcore.
Mhm.
I got in because she had an in, and because I persisted. It's who you know, and I happen to know somebody, so they took a shot on me, and I was supposed to come in and just kind of do music and some backstage interviewing, but of course it evolved into like way more than that, which I'm very grateful for. But that's never what I signed up for, but I'm glad that it
Oh.
happened the way that it did.
Oh wow. Co- one of the people I used to love watching there is Tara, and I had no idea you were the one that did the music for her.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Like that's awesome. Every time Tara would come to the ring to that song Broken, like I would love it. And then when I was like looking everything up, I was like, oh my God, that was you that did that.
Well, I wrote it and then they cut it up and wrote a weird chorus, and I don't know who's singing on the chorus. It's not me. Da 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 da. Like that's not me.
Yeah.
Like that's not me. That's not my song. But I have something broken. And then it just says shattered, but that's not how the song went. They cut that up. It was I have something broken, a little rough around the edges, and it cuts me into pieces, leaving me something. And it was a whole another song. And then they just cut it up and do I have something broken, broken, shattered, shattered. But that's not how I wrote it. I wrote it some
Oh.
other way. I wish I could find it somewhere. I'll find the original song somewhere.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I I don't want to keep you anymore. I'm just gonna ask like
No,
a
keep
couple
me. No,
questions.
keep me for our time.
All
That's what
right.
I'm just saying. Like I signed up for this. I'm not gonna cancel. I mean, I can cough a bunch and feel like I'm gonna puke on you, but like that's just how it is. I put the AC down to like 60 so that I just not like I have a fever, so I'm like
Ooh,
cold, wearing my corset. I'm good. We'll make it through. We got
okay.
time for some more questions.
Oh, okay, okay. And you also were, host a TLC show. So how did that come about?
Yeah, that came about with me just answering an ad on Craigslist years and years and years
Oh
ago,
my God, really? On Craigslist?
sending in a video saying I'm cheap, and I'll never forget that. And the ad said just do something really simple. Don't produce it. Don't try. Of course, I produced it and tried. And they called me within 38 minutes. Like, always do the best job that you can. Don't send in shit. Whenever you're going to do anything, whether it's a job interview or going on a date or asking a girl out, like go pull full stops. Always, always, always do the absolute best on everything that you possibly can, because somebody is lazy and will use your work and it will be put over. It will see the light of day. The better the job that you do, whether it's anything that you do a good job. If you're getting a gift for somebody, wrap it nicely, show effort, put in the
Yeah.
work. Like, always put in the work, because that's these days, everybody's a social media influencer. Everybody's got a gig. Everybody's got a brand. Everybody's got shit. So
That's
you really
true.
have to like make your stuff shine. So yeah, I sent in a really good audition tape, and they called me in 38 minutes and I got a great show. Remember the band that I had at the time wouldn't be on the show. They said it was the biggest mistake of my career. It was
What?
just stupid and that I would be humiliating myself. And I remember crying. We were at a venue that doesn't exist anymore in Louisville, Kentucky. And I just thought, here's our big shot. They're going to build a whole episode around this band, and these guys don't even want to be on it. So I had like a week to pull it together. So I just
Mm.
called ex bandmates. Some I was on good terms with, some I wasn't. Just said, do you want to be on TV with me? You'll get paid. It's exposure. And they all did. So I was very grateful. And we came back and we did this. And then years later, somebody contacted me and said, we'd like to do a reboot of the show where you're the actual host and you're doing the whole season. So that was amazing. And then COVID came and I lost my television deal and it sucked. And I was super sad. But everything happens for a reason. So I know that there's something else out there, but I was super excited to do that whole season. Like we had already started filming a bunch. So, but that's pretty amazing to say I had a major network deal on a major network with my own television show.
I
Like they
know,
thought
right?
enough of me. Yeah. Like so I'm working on getting another show. Keep on
Okay.
working, keep on working at it, keep on working at it. Like that's what I love to do. And then incorporate the music in that. And in between that, I had a show on PBS and wrote the theme song, and the band would be on. And it was just like keep
Nice.
everything in the family, keep everybody working, make sure everybody's, included in the pie. So I mean, that's the goal. That's the game plan.
Oh yeah, nice. And I
Yeah.
was I was like reading something online. Do you have a song coming out with another wrestler, Mickey James?
How did you find that anywhere? That's crazy. Like, where did you even find that? I only said something like a couple of days ago.
I yeah, I
Yeah,
was like I tried to look up everything there is
but I mean
about someone.
that's not anywhere. So where did you find that?
Oh, that was online.
Where online?
I typed in your name and like interviews you've done, and that came up.
You got to find that link, because
Okay.
I have only announced. I don't even think I put it on Patreon.
Wait, really?
Let me look. I don't think I even put it on Patreon. Settings, my page. I haven't even told anybody.
Oh my
The
God.
only person that I told was in an interview that I don't know if it's out yet or not. And I'm wondering if that's what you found. Where did you find this?
It definitely someone was interviewing you.
Where is that then? You got to
it's
find
out
it.
there.
What did you
Yeah,
type?
I'll
What did you type in?
I just
No, I'm
typed in
curious.
your name interview, like Gold Goldilocks interview, and that was one of the ones that I saw came up.
You got to find it. It's in your search, and that's going to be my payment for being on your show.
Okay. Okay, you
You got to
got it.
find it.
You
Canadian
got it.
Beats. Wait, 2 days ago. You got to find it because it must be a Canadian rag. Holy
Oh,
shit. No, you got to find it.
okay. I I'll edit this part out.
Oh
So.
my God. It is right here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, I don't have to edit anything unless I'm swearing.
Oh,
No,
no,
it's in Canadian Beats. Like, that's crazy. Wow.
I guess you
Okay,
didn't.
great. I
I
didn't even
guess you
read the
didn't know that was
article.
out.
There was so many articles that were out that I missed that one. Okay, great. Thank you for letting me know that. So yeah, Mickey James is going to be on an upcoming feature. We're so excited about it, but I haven't announced it to anybody. I did that interview a little while ago, and holy crap, like I didn't realize it was even out. Jeez. As soon as we get off this show, I gotta promote. I gotta
Yeah,
promote
yeah, yeah. You definitely do.
all this great stuff going on.
I won't post the interview until you promote it. So,
No, go ahead. I think that's
okay.
amazing. That's a good speak. It would really help me if you do post the interview. Do you do like little clips or something like
Yeah.
that? Yeah, please do say.
Okay.
We are very, very excited, and I am blown away that you have already detected that we have an upcoming song with the one and the only country hardcore legend, Mickey James, who's going to be doing an actual duet with us, with me. And it is two women singing the same words, but from a different perspective. It
Ooh.
is going to be the hottest, steamiest, sexiest video that you've seen in a long time. I am dieting. I'm getting into like, I gotta like compete with this hot chick. That's why I'm doing it. I'm like, oh my God, she's like so gorgeous. So I've got to like really step it up so that I don't look like the big blob on campus as Mickey just like totally takes the cake. But we're so honored that she's gonna do this with us. And it's just gonna be such a fun way to cross promote because she's such a talented musician, singer-songwriter. And we're just so excited to have her on it. Who wouldn't want to watch Mickey
I know.
James rocking out in the rain, singing about sexy things? I would. I don't even go that way, and I'm excited.
Mickey's the best though. Like her wrestling, her music, and she's really sweet too. Like if you meet her at like a wrestling convention, she's really sweet.
She's absolutely a class act.
Oh my
Um,
God, yeah.
I've known her forever. She's just an absolute class act. Yeah, use some of that. That'd be a good soundbite. That'd give you a
Okay.
good run right there.
All right, sweet, sweet. And when you're not making music and on tour, and what do you like doing during your free time if you have any?
I don't have any free time, and that's okay. I don't have any kids. I'm not married. Single, technically single chick. So, it is just absolutely filled with content and promoting and making sure I'm on my social media,
Hmm.
writing new songs, learning new songs, playing, booking shows, trying to reach out, get more gigs, get more festivals, fairs, more club dates, more opportunities. It's, I'm flying soon to sing the national anthem at like a huge NFL game, like
Oh,
just
that's
like stuff
awesome.
like that. Like, yeah, but it takes up 2 or 3 days, so you got to, it's just like blah, 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 blah. Like, and in between that, you try to live and do your laundry and, wash your sheets and things like that. But like, no, I'm constantly working. I work like about 19 or 20 hours every day. Thus, I get sick every once in a while and I've got asthma and we play rooms that have smoking in it. And then that wreaks havoc on me and I don't get a chance to
Oh.
heal because we're just traveling and not getting any sleep. And again, people don't understand that. They're always like, oh, you need to take better care of yourself. And well, you have a husband or
Hmm.
you have dual income or you have bill. You're looking at who's paying my bills. So it's a big hustle. I gotta hustle hard. So
Well, yeah.
yeah, it's crazy. Thank you for finding that though.
Yeah, it's no problem. And I always
Good.
ask my I always ask my guests this. We talked about it a little bit before we came on the live. Well, not the live, the recorded. And are there any horror films that you like to watch? Because I'm a big horror guy.
Oh yeah. I mean, So I have to kind of stop watching them because I've got a real obsessive personality.
Hmm.
So the problem with me with watching horror or thriller is like, because I've got massive OCD and compulsive, tendencies, is
Oh.
if I blink and I miss one little thing, I got to rewind it. I gotta
Oh.
scroll back and watch it. And it's like, I'll scroll back and watch it. Wait, I'll scroll back and it's like, I have to like stop watching some things because it's so obsessive. Like, especially like horror movies. So I was just always obsessed with like Friday the 13th and like,
Hmm.
and I'd have to go back to the original one and like watch it without blinking because I had to make sure that I got heard every single little, and then I would compare that with, the next ones. And it's so obsessed with Friday the 13th and all the Nightmare on Elm Street. What am I thinking? Nightmare Before what? Nightmare Before
Christmas.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nightmare on Elm Streets, all those. Um, the ones that get really like all the Saw movies and
Hmm.
some of those just get to be too shit in, shit out, where it's too much gore
Yeah,
and too
I
much
I
violence
agree.
and a
I
lot of
agree.
violence to women. And what happens is it starts to desensitize you, like watching a lot of porn
Hmm.
starts to and I've seen my share of whatever, I'm not 20 years old. It starts to desensitize you to what's like real or like that people could be hurt like that. Like there were a lot of people like Ed Gein and like Hannibal Lecter and like those types of people, the Jeffrey Dahmers, like they exist. And I don't know. I didn't watch Dahmer. I had too many people say it was amazing. And then other people say it was really disturbing. I just don't want to
Yeah.
put that in my brain because
Yeah.
I obsess over it. And I go over and over and over in my mind. What happened there? What happened there? And it gets to be too much. So I've stopped watching a lot of things, but like, I like to go see like a nun movie or something like that, where there's some creepy shit in there, but it's like somebody's eyes aren't getting just completely. And I mean, you can imply stuff in a horror movie without just showing,
True.
unless it's so campy, stupid, where you're kind of laughing. But then again, you're laughing at somebody being mutilated. Like, how funny is that really? Like, what if that was your sister or your mom or your dad being mutilated like that? Would you laugh? You know what I mean? So it's like, the older I get, like I walk a tight line on what I'm gonna go watch, even though I
Yeah.
love being scared, like stuff like The Exorcist, love all of that, but
Oh
like
my
that's
God.
true shit. Like
I
I went to
know.
Catholic school and there
Same.
was some of the French priests that we have that were from France, like the mon pères of the Catholic schools, like they didn't play with that shit because they'd seen it.
Hmm.
Like demonic possession is real. Like you can sit there and say ghosts aren't real and this and that. Well, they are.
Well,
Like
yeah, I know.
I mean, and you can say aliens aren't real. Well, they are. Like you're stupid if you don't think that we're the only life form on
Oh
this
yeah,
entire planet. Like, give me a break. Like,
yeah.
you don't know like who's walking around among us. You don't
You're
shit. They
right.
won't even talk about anything in our government. Like, I'm sure we all know like however you feel about COVID and the vax and all that. Like, it's pretty obvious like what was going on with all that by now. Even if you
Hmm.
whatever side you were on things, like there's distractions that our government does. There's things that happen to control us. There's plans like, and I'm not even a conspiracy theorist at all. It's just like if you're an intelligent person asking questions, there's a lot of stuff that I'm sure there's been a cure for cancer for decades, but
But they don't want
why
to.
would you release that when you can make so much money
Exactly.
off of everything? It doesn't
Exactly.
matter who the president is. It doesn't matter. They're being controlled by whoever's got the money. And will I ever vote again? Probably not. Why? Why would I vote? Why would I vote when the last time that I voted, whoever I voted for was a joke? Because whoever they decided was going to win won. And
Oh
then
yeah,
what
I
happened to
know.
all those vote? What happened to all those other votes? Because it's funny because everybody that I knew voted for a certain person that didn't even come close to winning. So why bother? Like, why would I take time off work to go vote when it's not even going to count? Like, and it doesn't matter if there's a Democrat or a Republican in office. Again, it's all who. It'd be so interesting to be a fly on the wall in the White House.
Oh my
I'm
God, I
sure
know,
if you
right?
don't say and do what they tell you to do, oh, you know what? We're going to kill your daughter. We're going to kill your wife, or we're going to destroy your family, or XYZ fill in the blank. Like,
Hmm.
they're just puppets.
Oh, I
So,
know. I know.
so that's how I think about all that stuff. Like, I don't even know how we got on that rant, but how do we even get in on that?
I don't know.
Um,
I don't know. We started with horror movies and aliens,
yeah, the hard, just
ghosts, and
like I watch what I put into my brain these
yeah.
days because I like I said, I get really compulsive with stuff, and I don't need to see like how long did the nun have her eyes open before she did this, or like, oh, I gotta go back and watch it again. Like, so yeah, I don't need to see somebody like picking somebody's eyes out with an ice pick, like how many seconds long is that? Jaws, how long did it take for the body was destroyed? Like it's too I'm too like weird. So yeah. So there you go. I love all the horror movies. Always have. None of my friends even want to go see horror movies anymore, especially girls. It's always guys, and then they're like,
Yeah.
oh, the yawn, and they try to put their arm around you, and so who am I going to go with? The one time I did go to the movies, I went to Hendersonville movie theater. It was the last show. It was a horror movie, and some guy was in there who was going to rape me. Yeah, that was a fun night.
Oh
So
my
I screamed and like nobody was working and like literally almost got raped. It was great. Not one mother trucker in the freaking theater. Like everybody had just, who knows where the managers. I was just me. It was really scary. So I'm like, oh, I can't go to a movie by myself anymore. So I was some
God.
weirdo, but girls won't go see horror movies. So I got to find like some platonic dudes to go with me. So,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Wow.
yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So always weirdos everywhere. Bunch of weird people.
Yeah.
You got to let me know what this audio is like because I'm on microphone. I'm on this, and it better be
Mhm.
on this and not like eternal sound
Oh no,
microphone.
it sounds amazing.
It better. The last Zoom that I did, it was on shit setting. And the
Oh
whole
no.
interview just sounded horrible. I'm so embarrassed, but make sure
Oh
it sounds
no,
good.
it sounds really good.
Okay, cool.
And the last thing that I'm gonna ask you is there anything coming up for you that you want to plug, like any shows, any songs?
Oh, always shows, but yeah, new songs, especially the one with Mickey James. It's gonna be super great. We got another song called "Talking to Myself." We're trying to get a really creepy location to say yes
Ooh.
for us filming, but they're like, we only let television and movies film there. And I'm trying to twist their arm, so I'm gonna keep on seeing if they'll let us come film for a few hours. That would be amazing. Super creepy video, complete opposite of Just Say Yes. Like this is just say horror. And then the
Nice.
one with Mickey is going to be called I Didn't Know. Super sexy, steamy, rainy, futuristic, but depleted. Like, what's the word? There's some movie that we're fashioning it after. I can't think of it. Oh, Blade Runner. Kind of
Oh
like that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Coloring and the vibe, kind of like Blade Runner. So that'll be really cool. We got another one called Unholy. So we're going to have to
Oh.
come up with a really cool treatment for that. That's thinking out of the box a little bit. Can't be just what you would expect. It's got to be
Well,
something
yeah,
out of the box. So
exactly.
yeah, we got a 3-pack of like really dark rock, edgy cutting songs. So I can't wait for everybody here. I'd love to come back on and promote.
Oh my God, yeah, definitely.
Sweet.
Oh my, it
That's
was
it.
Diane, it's been so much fun talk. Oh wait, yeah, the last thing I have to
Well,
ask
absolutely.
you is where can
Yeah.
fans
Ask
follow
me the
you
last
at?
thing. Oh, our website is just Goldie with a Y, locksband.com, and all the socials and all that good stuff's on there. Everything is just Goldie with a Y, Locks, Rocks, Twitter, um, Instagram, TikTok, Goldilocks Rocks. Just look for that, and you can find all my guys in our band through that. It's pretty easy. But it would be really nice if you could go to YouTube to just say yes, Goldilocks band, Goldie with a Y, and leave a message as to what show you heard about what's cooking on. That'd be really cool. How do you spell your show?
The Grue and the room is spelled Rume, just to change it.
I got it. Yeah. Yeah. So I was like, how do you spell it one more time? Yeah. Just say you heard us on the Grue Room, however you spell it.
Yeah,
That'd be
yeah.
really cool. It's been lovely though. I really appreciate it. I'm going to order some super hot, spicy soup so that I can clear my throat and shit my pants and go to bed. It just sounds like a fun night for me.
It sounds like a wonderful night. Yeah.
Yeah. If you knew, like I'm on my deathbed, but I hope that I gave you a decent enough answer.
This has been great. Like you're really awesome. You're really nice. Thank you so much. And I
Oh,
really
thank you for reaching out.
yeah, like I really appreciate it even more because like you could have canceled it because you're feeling sick, but you came on. So so
Nah,
so thank you.
nah, you don't do that. Somebody else was counting on you to be there, so you gotta ante up. I am probably gonna go shit my pants now and get some soup, but let me know when this is coming out so that we can promote it properly.
Definitely will. Definitely. Thank you so much.
You got it, cutie pie. I'm signing off. It was great talking to you, and thanks for being so fun.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.